Hey everybody, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to have a voiceover because there was way too much activity and noise in this house. But today we're going to talk about my favorite things. All was going great until a major mishap, which I will just get out of the way right about now. This is what it looked like. Okay, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and apply some of this CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence so that my face doesn't look completely and utterly bare and ghastly while I put on my eyeshadow. If I put my makeup on first, I'm concerned that there's going to be a bunch of eyeshadow fallout. Gee, I wonder why I would think that. Anyway, so this is actually just a sort of a nice base that I will use every now and again. It's got a bunch of skincare in it. This is the shade Light Medium, and I will sometimes use it under my makeup or just by itself during the day when I'm having a no makeup day. Next up, brows. This is the e.l.f. Lock On Liner and Brow Cream. That is a BS Mall liner with a spoolie brush. I like this e.l.f. Brow cream because it not only is a good shade, it's the shade Basic Taupe, but it holds my brows in place and it does not overwhelm my eyebrows. I like my eyebrows to look natural. I have to do something with them because they are sparse, but they are also very long. For some reason, my eyebrows, they're long, even though I've got bald spots. So they need to be held in place as well as filled in. Doing eyebrows is not my favorite thing. I typically do them off camera. This is probably the longest time I've spent doing them on camera for a while. But I definitely need to do my brows these days. Next up, Revlon Colorstay Skin Awaken. This is the 5-in-1 concealer in the shade Universal Brightener. I love to use this for eye primer. I just use a little bit though. You can really overdo it if you're not careful. The little sponge applicator, I just typically just tap it on my fingers and rub them together and then apply over my lid. I like it because not only does it make an excellent primer, but it's a very good concealer for your eyes. It cancels discoloration and it makes a really wonderful canvas for eyeshadow. I'm just going to moisten my lips a little bit with this Buxom White Russian Plumping Lip Gloss. I just love it. Absolutely, definitely one of my favorite things. Okay, the Naked Urban Decay Metal Mania palette. I just got this yesterday. This is April of 2024. I think it's been out for probably at least, I'm not sure, maybe less than a year. I picked it up yesterday on sale at Ulta for half off. That brush that I'm holding up, that is also an Urban Decay dual end brush that I believe I had from a previous palette that I had. This particular palette did come with a dual end brush. I don't know what I did with it. I used it yesterday, set it down, don't know what the heck I did with it. All right, so right now what I'm doing is I am covering my lid and up above my crease with the shade Sound Tower. The eyeshadow is so nice. It goes on really nicely. The application is not a problem for me. It's the placement. So it takes me a little longer to place the shadow so that it looks nice and it looks even. I typically have to go back and forth a few times to get it to where one eye is not heavier than the other or looks uneven. So if I seem like I'm taking a long time, it's not the brush and it's not the palette. It's my skill level, which, by the way, I think has actually gotten better over the last several months since I started doing this gig. Okay, I'm picking up a BS Small concealer brush because I love to use this with shimmer shades. This shade is called Shred, and I'm gonna see how it looks on top of that neutral sort of brown shade. I'm packing it on until I am happy with the amount of shimmer. I really like shimmer. The one thing about this palette that is very, very interesting is that even though it looks like it's crazy, like you have to be super careful, you actually do not. Most of these shades are pretty tame. The shimmer shades, I thought some of these shimmer shades would just be overwhelming initially, but they are not. There's a couple that are a little more powerful than the others. This one is pretty tame. This is why I'm going over it as much as I am. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and for the middle of my lid, I'm gonna add, this is the shade Scene. I just wanna add a little bit more light. So I'm trying to stay like in the middle of my eye there. And I'll go over this a few times until I get it exactly where I want it. I super love this palette. Okay, hold on. I love my son, I love my dog, I love my sister, I love God. These are the things that are truly worthy of love. When I say I love a palette, I don't really mean like I love it, but I just default to that word. I just want to clear that up. I think we all do it. But yeah, if I were going to love something that's not like a human or an animal, it would probably be a makeup item. Okay, right under my brow, I'm gonna go ahead and put this shade. It's called Double Kick. This is another BS Small shadow brush. And this is a neutral shade, a very light neutral shade, but it does have just a hint of shimmer. Very, very subtle. I'm going back in with that initial color, the Sound Tower, and just filling in the gaps there where I might have got a little bit of shimmer up in the crease, and just sort of evening it out and just making it a little bit more uniform there. Okay, picking up my Bare Essentials Flatliner eyeliner brush. This is a really nice brush to line my upper and lower lid. I am going in with this shade Heavy. This is the darkest shade in the palette. It also has some shimmer in it. So one of these days I might get really daring and do a smoky eye with it. It's really quite pretty. So I'm just gonna quickly go through, I'm trying to keep the liner just above my upper eyelash here. And I didn't get very good angles when I was filming, so that's the reason why I kind of cut it out a little bit. All right, lower lashes. This is the shade Road Crew. And again, I'm going in with that same brush. This eyeshadow has very, very, very minimal fallout. But if you get it on your finger or somewhere it does not belong and you touch another part of your face, you can count on having a smeary mess, which is a little bit of what happened earlier today. And this also happened to me yesterday. It was a disaster. Alrighty, Lash Princess by Essence. This is False Effect. This is such a great mascara for $4.99. It is so lengthening and so good. Just a real bargain. Not going to bore you guys too much with mascara application. You all know how to put on mascara. So I will just power through this and we'll move on to the next thing. Concealer. Okay, right now I do not have a good concealer for my under eyes. I don't have a good color corrector for my under eye. I tried the e.l.f. Camo color correcting concealer in peach. I don't like it. My favorite is Stila. It is a wonderful palette for color correction and concealer. But today what I did was I took the Can't Stop Won't Stop by NYX in the shade Fair, as well as NYX the Bear With Me Concealer Serum in the shade Medium. Neither shade is a good shade for under my eyes, so I mixed it up. Right here I am patting it in with a BS Mall concealer brush and then following up with a damp e.l.f. sponge, trying to get some good coverage. It's not bad. I really miss my Stila palette though. I had to kind of stop using it. Okay, contour. Okay, this NYX Wonderstick, oh my gosh, it's the NYX Wonderstick dual end face shaper. This is the shade Universal Light. It has a dark end on one end. It's got a highlighter on the other. I never really use that highlighter unless I'm doing maybe like my eyeshadow or something. So I consistently reach for this. This is a lovely, creamy, easy to work with contour stick. I've been using it now for at least 2 years. Every time I'm gonna do a full face, you know, once in a while I'll reach for e.l.f. or I'll use some other little substitute thing just to see how it works, but this has just been my go-to. I reach for it all the time. So I'm just going to speed through this and then we'll move on to my next favorite thing. This is a pharmacy brand small oval contour brush. It's really firm and the size is just perfect for blending contour. Gotta say, it's one of my favorite brushes. This is another pharmacy brush. This is for contour and foundation. I like it for nose contour especially because it's pointed and it's firm and I can blend really well with it. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer in the shade Fair 10C. It's like got a little clicker end on this pointed brush, and I got this, it was clearanced out at Walmart for like $3. It has been amazing. It's really great for contour. And what a bargain. Just a really good buy. On the subject of contouring, since I've learned how to contour somewhat, I'm a lot better at it than I used to be. I love contouring. It is very useful in brightening the shadows on your face that can cause your face to sort of look more droopy. It lifts, especially when you use it in the center of your face. I love it, especially to narrow my nose, to lift my nose right there on the tip so it doesn't look quite so droopy. And then around your mouth, it can give the illusion of lifting the corners of your mouth. Contouring is a very helpful tool. I can see the difference before I've even blended it, frankly. I feel like I look like I just lost 10 years, even though I look, you know, a little ridiculous. I wouldn't walk around town looking like that. But I can just see where it's emphasized the areas I want emphasized and played down the areas I want played down. So contouring is one of my favorite things for sure. This is an e.l.f. damp sponge I'm using. The trick is, I do this before I put my foundation on. The trick is to blend it enough to where it's blended but doesn't totally disappear when you put foundation on, which is what we're going to talk about now. This It CC cream, oh my gosh, this is my holy grail. It has SPF 50, it has a ton of skincare, it color corrects, it's nourishing, it covers. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I cannot even begin to tell you. I started using this probably 7 or 8 years ago, and then I would just try other things. I don't know why I bothered doing that, because I always go back to this. I'm applying just a little bit right now with this damp e.l.f. sponge, and then the remainder that was on my fingers I'm using to sort of cover the additional darkness under my eyes that's a little bit remaining. But this It CC cream, absolutely at the top of my list of very, very favorite things. This is the shade Neutral Medium, and oh my goodness, I am digging it. A little trick I've learned recently, this is a clean foundation brush from pharmacy. I will take a clean foundation brush and just go over my face after I've applied my foundation. It continues to blend it a little bit, and it also picks up any excess. It, keeps the makeup from caking, and it also prevents from having to use too much powder, which is what we're going to talk about now. This is the Fiera HD powder. I ordered this online along with their luxury concealer, and it's a very, very nice powder for mature skin. I highly recommend it. I think this is the shade Medium. And that little finger sponge I got at Dollar Tree. It is a handy dandy little tool. Absolutely worth $1.25. It comes in a little plastic container, and you get 4 of them. Oh my goodness, It Cosmetics bronzer in the shade Beach. This is a Bye Bye Pores. It's so good. Honestly, it was on my birthday, and it was a gift to myself. I'm using a BS Mall round powder brush to apply. I like to apply bronzer pretty much all over my face, but this bronzer is it's so good on my skin. It's just so good. When they call it Bye Bye Pores, they are not even kidding. It's just so seamless and beautiful, and it was expensive, and I don't care. It was, like I said, happy birthday to me. Absolutely love this bronzer. Essence Soft and Precise Lip Pencils. $2.99. I like to mix the colors. The first one I'm using is called Charming. It's a little bit too cool toned for me, so I do like it, but it just has a little bit too much of a rosy tone. So I will apply it first, and then I will apply the shade Legendary. And Legendary is a very muted, neutral tone. So when I want something just a little extra kick, I blend them together, and it creates a really nice shade. I'm not a huge fan of lipsticks. I do like glosses, so if I want to add something to it, I will line my lips, and also to make my lips look a little more full. I just think that's really pretty. So today we are going to plop on more of that Buxom. This is the full-on plumping cream lip gloss. I got this literally for like under $5 because I had a massive coupon. It was crazy. I love this lip gloss. My favorite lip gloss of all time. Second in line would be the NYX Butter Glosses, but this is, it feels like lip therapy. It's just beautiful. I love it. This is the shade White Russian, by the way. All right, I got a look on my face. Yep, I did it again. I did it again. The e.l.f. Liquid Camo Blushes. These, they're $7, and they are so good. They're pigmented, they're pretty, they are just amazing. Today, you know, I got to do my favorite thing, right? So I'm pulling out the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I love to mix these liquid blushes with that Halo Glow and tone it down or make it more creamy or whatever I want to do. They are great by themselves. This is the shade Very Well, and this is the shade Light Medium of the e.l.f. Halo Glow. Okay, so I mixed it together and didn't quite get the target what I was looking for. So I'm adding a little bit more, and it is gonna be way too much. Just warning you in advance, there's a lot more there than I can use, but it's only makeup, it's fun, and I don't care. It's so pretty. So I applied what I had on my fingers to my cheeks. I already knew I was in trouble. There's a lot of pigment here, but it's like, oh my gosh, it's so dang pretty. Don't ask me why I reached for a stipple brush initially. I reached for this Real Techniques stipple brush. I don't know why I did that. I don't usually do that for blush, unless I'm trying to, you know, spread something around more than I normally would with a regular brush. But anywho, as you can see, there's a lot of blush here, and I don't care. This is soap. I love it. It's fun. It's pretty. You can do so much with it. Don't worry, I'll fix it. But isn't that just so stinking gorgeous? Mixing liquid blush and that e.l.f. Halo Glow. Well, the e.l.f. Halo Glow by itself too, I love it too, but just super fun, you know, if you're a makeup junkie like me. Alrighty, I grabbed a foundation brush that was a little more firm so I could push this up out of the way a little bit, tone it down, and it worked quite well. So yeah, I enjoy this. I enjoy the blush a little too much. I've got 4 of those e.l.f. blushes now, but the Very Very I picked up last week, and I have yet to have showed it to you. However, in this video, you will see me apply it by itself. Just wait for it, and you'll see what that's all about. Okie dokie. Well, I thought I was all done here, and I just thought I'd go ahead and add a little bit more mascara. I got some flakes under my eyes and decided I was going to fix it, and yeah, here's where everything kind of went wrong. Right about here. Yep. Okay, this is the e.l.f. Very Well blush without the Halo Glow. I'm having to reapply it. As you can see, very pigmented. All right, there you go. Hey guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you are so inclined, give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.